Top of the league, you're never seeing that. Sure, it's still early days, but we can all agree that it feels good to go into the international break top of the Premier League, doesn't it, guys? Especially after the way we started after the last break with the unexpected defeat against Nottingham Forest at home. But since then, we've been on a relentless winning run, winning 6 in a row in 3 different competitions. The latest is obviously our 1-0 win against Crystal Palace away from home, proving once again that we're improving our track record outside of our ground, contrary to last season, which is something Arne Slot highlighted in his last presser. So in case you missed the game or you want an in-depth quick analysis of what happened, from the complete control of the first half to the slight improvement in our defensive structure, hit that like and subscribe button and let's jump straight into it. So after Arne Slot started his strongest possible 11 in the Champions League against Bologna, it was kind of expected that the Dutchman would bring some changes going into this Palace game. And that's what happened with 3 players getting into the starting lineup. Alisson was obviously in goal with Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk as centre-backs. Trent Alexander-Arnold kept his place as the right-back, while Kostas Tsimikas got in ahead of Andy Robertson, who was forced out against Bologna. The midfield saw one change, with Dominik Szoboszlai making way for Curtis Jones, who made his first league start of the season, while Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis Mac Allister kept their places in the middle of the pitch. The front line is another area that saw change, with Cody Gakpo getting ahead of Luis Diaz, while Diogo Jota and Mohamed Salah kept their places up front. Now, we don't know whether it's a matter of adjusting to the game or just the players still not turning up, but this was the last time that Liverpool conceded an offside early goal. It happened against Bournemouth, against Bologna, and now again against Crystal Palace after Sarr got ahead of Tsimikas on the left-hand side, but thankfully Nketiah was offside. But since then, we can safely say that the Reds got full control over the game, especially after Diogo Jota opened the scoring. And you know what? That goal sequence, especially our team structure, was so good to watch. Once we progressed the ball out of our own half, the Reds lined up in a 3-1-6 high build-up. Both Tsimikas and Trent kept on swinging up and down to form the back three. Meanwhile, Mac Allister and Jones occupied the half spaces and pinging Palace's pivots in place. On either side of the pitch, Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah held the width, helping stretch the opposition's backline and create the space between the centre-backs and wing-backs. Now, you probably wonder where Jota was in all of this, right? Well, we basically didn't play with a recognised number 9, and instead, Jota was given the freedom to roam around looking for spaces to attack, and that's exactly what happened for our goal. After stepping back, Tsimikas played a through ball into the space created between the centre-back and wing-back for Cody Gakpo to attack with his pace. Jota, who was free to roam, met Gakpo's cross inside the box to give us the lead. Again, from that moment, Liverpool were in total control of the match, limiting the home team to just 0.08 XG in the first 45 minutes. And by the way, that XG generated only came in the 46th minute, but before the halftime whistle. See, that first period can be considered as Liverpool's most secure performance in possession, keeping 73% of ball possession, and it wasn't just for the sake of keeping the ball, so let's explain what happened. Liverpool consistently building up from deep in a 4-3 shape, with Gravenberch as the single pivot and Mac Allister and Jones as the 8s. In this way, we created numerical and technical superiority in their half, with 7 versus 5 against Palace's passive frontline press, resulting in a comfortable build-up phase and easy progression up the pitch. See, it only took one Palace player to make the jump of Van Dijk, for example, and once space opened up, the Dutchman was capable of slipping a pass towards Jones or Mac Allister in order to get the ball higher up the pitch. As we said in our Bologna match review, the Reds' over-reliance on direct long balls was only a matter of adapting to the opposition and a way to bypass the Italians' man-to-man pressing approach. And against Palace, we saw us return to the more patient build-up patterns, circulating possession around before going more direct in the middle of the pitch. And as you can see here, our passing map was a thing of beauty, showing the structured approach Arne Slot is implementing. Now, there's one more thing we need to highlight from the first half: Cody Gakpo. The Dutchman's performance on the left-hand side is the ultimate proof that he needs to be used as a left winger. He's constantly stretching the pitch, asking for the ball, retaining it under pressure and combining with his teammates to create chances, hence his 5 key passes created. Not to mention his work out of possession, winning 6 out of 8 duels. To have both Luis Diaz and Cody Gakpo in form is such a good problem to have, which will definitely give Arne Slot a headache. But do you know the other good problem we have? Curtis Jones, guys. Now sure, his contribution might not be there for everyone to see, but his ability to receive under pressure and his constant movement were key for the way we progressed the ball. To have such a versatile player who can play as a lone 6, alongside Gravenberch, and even ahead as a number 8 or a 10 is a great option to have. And now that we mentioned Gravenberch, it hasn't become boring to talk about his consistently brilliant performances. Playing as the lone 6, Gravenberch was the first receiver of the ball from the back line, and he didn't shy away from his task. However, we need to bring something up to light, and don't get us wrong guys, this is no way, shape or form a dig to the player, it's just something that we believe will help him cement as the club's number 6, and it will definitely take Liverpool's control and build up to a whole new level. See, sometimes Gravenberch lacks the movement to arrive into space and offer himself as a passing option in the best possible circumstances. At a certain point in the game, Alisson was waving his hand at the player, encouraging him to come into space and pass the ball. These are traits that made Martin Zubimendi top of Liverpool's transfer wish list, which is why we believe that if Gravenberch works to add such tools to his inventory, then there will be no doubt that he will have no competition for the pivot position. Now, the second half wasn't as controlled as the first one, with Palace getting 8 shots off compared to their 1 in the first half. Alisson saved some before he was injured, and Jaros took his place to also make another quality save, denying Eze. But even though we conceded chances, we want to highlight the improvement we saw in our out-of-possession approach. Unlike the Wolves and Bologna game, Liverpool did not struggle in transition as much. Using the same 4-2-4 shape out of possession, this time the double pivot players were timing their jumps better, following up the front line pressure, and once the ball was played through, you can see Konate pushing higher into the midfield, helping put more pressure on the ball carriers and force them to lose the ball. Now don't get us wrong, we're not saying that Slot has figured every solution possible. There's still room for improvement, but work is being done to help us overcome a repetitive issue we saw in recent games. Now, one more player we want to talk about is Dominik Szoboszlai, who entered in the second half for Alexis McAllister. Almost immediately we saw the Hungarian's contribution out of possession, putting intense pressure and help recovering loose balls. However, we noticed something once again that needs to be discussed. So far this season, Szoboszlai only took 3 shots from outside the area, which is kind of weird given his powerful and unique shooting technique. He had plenty of occasions to pop a shot many times almost in every game he's played so far, but never did. What makes you question, is it a matter of instruction or more of a confidence issue? Let us know what you think in the comments. Now before we end our video, we need to give credit to our best performers this season so far, Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk. It's really no surprise to have the best defense in the league with these two fully fit and playing together. Not only are they capable of playing in a high line to suffocate the opposition, but their in-possession ability is up there with the very best, being capable of circulating possession and progressing the ball through the phases. Again, it's the perfect way to enter the international break, but we can all agree that the tougher games are yet to come. Chelsea and Arsenal in the Premier League, Brighton in the EFL Cup, and Leipzig and Leverkusen in the Champions League. These are going to be our games after the break, which will be the ultimate test to Arne Slot. So what did you think of our performance? Do you think Liverpool should target a new number 6 to play alongside Gravenberch? And how do you think the Reds will deal with these upcoming fixtures? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed today's deep dive, why not hit that like and subscribe button and join our fast growing community. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.